here, and as you can see, we have some beautiful riding weather today. This is, of course, sunny Indonesia. It's raining, it's foggy. Actually, I don't think it's fog, I think I'm actually up in the clouds right now. And it's fucking cold. Who would have thought? So anyway, can't see shit. My visor's fogging up like you wouldn't believe. I did have a pin lock, but it never seemed to sit properly, and the seal is no good. So anyway, I digress. So today was an epic fail. I left Tana Toraja, and I was heading for this lake, which is sort of in central Sulawesi. It's northeast, and I was like, oh, that looks nice. It's a nice 5-hour ride. This will be delightful. And anyway, so I got down the road a bit. By a bit, I mean, I don't know, maybe it was like 40 kilometers I got down the road. And my fuel light came on, and I thought, that's really weird, because I filled up in Tana Toraja when I first got there, and look, sure, I did do that day trip out to Olon, and you know, there was a lot of first gear and grinding along, so I guess I probably would have used a lot of fuel, but still that was only like 100-kilometer round trip. And I was like, that's not quite right. And I had noticed a little bit of a smell of petrol yesterday when I was out at Olon, and I thought, it was a little bit stronger than usual. I can, if it's a hot day and things like that, I can usually smell petrol because the safari tank has, it's just got the little hose the little breather hose, right? So the fumes come out of that pretty readily. But I thought it was a bit stronger than usual. But anyway, I couldn't actually see any leaks or anything when I was out at Olon. And I think that was because it was such a hot day. The petrol was just evaporating before enough of it could accumulate for me to actually see what was going on. But anyway, so today, I get 40 k's down the road or so, and suddenly I need fuel, which is weird. So I stop and I buy a couple of litres of fuel, and then, and I look for this petrol leak again, and there it is, there's petrol everywhere, and it's coming from the vicinity of the injector. So I was like, well, that's bad. Anyway, so I've got all my tools and everything, but of course for weight distribution purposes, all my tools are at the bottom of my panniers. So the roadside repairs always involve taking out everything I own, which is always plenty of fun. So there I am beside the road, and I'm in front of this little, little warung on this windy mountain road. And there's nowhere to get out of the rain. There's no veranda I can park the bike under. And it's just about to start raining. And so I was like, fuck, better be quick. Anyway, so in order to get to my injector, it would be really easy if I didn't have the safari tank. I just need to take the the air box off. But I have the safari tank, and taking it off is not such a drama. Putting it back on again is a big drama. Anyway, so I have to rip off the safari tank, all my bags off, all my stuff out, rip off the safari tank, pull out the air box, and then, I started up the bike again because all the petrol had evaporated by the time I'd done this. And sure enough, it's just leaking around the intake to the injector. And so that's fine. So I pulled the hose clamp off and had a look at the hose. The hose was fine, but I think the hose clamp wasn't exactly circular. It was almost sort of more oval shaped, which can't have been causing it to seal properly, and I don't really know how that would have happened. But anyway, I have, a whole bunch of spare hose clamps, so I put a nice round one on it. Did it up again, no leaks, fantastic, happy days, and then had to put everything back together again. Airbox again, no worries. Safari tank, oh my god. Every time I take that safari tank off, it becomes more impossible to put it back on again. The brackets, there are 6 bolts, right? And if you do up 2 of them, the other 4, like the brackets won't even come into the vicinity of where they need to be. And it's this exercise in like cajoling and brute strength and just sort of like warping brackets on the tank and things to actually get them to match up. Now, I'm sure all the dirt naps Beastie and I have taken over the last year or so have not helped the brackets be in the right place, but still, this is crazy. And I mean, ever since I've owned the bike, this has been a problem. Every single time I pull the safari tank off, it just doesn't all go back together again the way it should. Anyway, so this time it took me like, I don't know, it took me half an hour to fix the fuel link, and it took me an hour and a half, 2 hours in the rain to get the safari tank back on. And by the end of it, I was just like, oh my god. Anyway, yes, and so there I was, all my bags out, getting rained on, rain everywhere, everything is now soaking wet, I got wet and cold. On the upside, the people at the Warung were actually really nice. One bloke gave me a bit of a hand getting the safari tank back on, and that was nice. And yeah, there were 2 little girls and the lady who ran the Warung, and they were fun. So we had a bit of a chat, and there was a Bakso guy who stopped to get out of the rain, and he was pretty fun too. The little girls called him after he rode off. They were like, "Oh man, orang gila," which means a crazy person. He certainly made them laugh. So it was actually, yeah, look, it was quite for a shitty afternoon, you know, for a shitty afternoon where I had bike problems and I didn't get to go where I wanted to go, and I was wet and cold and all the rest. Yeah, it wasn't that really such a shitty afternoon after all. But anyway, it's now like practically getting dark, and as you can see, it's still raining. You probably can't see anything. There's probably just raindrops all over the camera lens right now. There's probably all you can see is just like warped greyness. Yep, so cold, wet, raining, suboptimal, and I'm still, well, I was when I finally packed everything up and got on the road again, I was still 5 hours from where I was trying to go today. So I decided that wasn't really going to happen. So I'm heading back to Tana Toraja now, back to Tony's place, where he's very kindly let me stay for the last 4 or 5 days. I don't know what day it is. And I'm going to show up again and be like, Tony, I'm back. I had bike problems. I got wet and cold. I'm going to try again tomorrow. Which is fine. I mean, I'm not in a hurry. To be honest, I would like to get on the road and cover some miles because I want to see a bit more of Sulawesi before my visa runs out. And my visa is running out rapidly. I need to get my ass across the border into Malaysia in about a month. No, slightly less than a month. And seeing as I have to, you know, coordinate getting the ferry, which only goes twice a week from Sulawesi to Kalimantan, and then I have to ride across the bottom of Kalimantan, and Kalimantan is actually really big. It's going to take a few days. Yeah, I had better get my skates on if I want to go exploring Sulawesi. And Sulawesi is really cool. So, that's my only impetus to get my ass into gear. But that's alright. That can wait until tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I will try again.